Magandang araw, Pilipinas! I, Venus de Vicente, alongside with Miss Richlin Portacio, will be endorsing our chosen candidates for the 2022 national elections. Tara, let's start! Now, why Robredo? Why should we vote for Leni Robredo as the next president of the Philippines? As a background, Vice President Leni Robredo took Bachelor's of Arts in Economics, her undergraduate degree at University of the Philippines, Diliman. She took her law studies and graduated at University of Nueva Cáceres in 1992. And in 1997, she passed the bar exam and officially became a lawyer. Before entering law school, Robredo worked in the Bicol River Basin Development Program as an economist and researcher from the year 1986 to 1987. Before entering the world of the politics, she was a public lawyer at Sentro ng Alternatibong Linga Panligal or Saligan. She defended various cases and even provided legal education to her clients through legal clinics. She has been helping people from the lower class even before she was elected as the vice president. While she was appointed as the 3rd District Representative of the Camarines Sur, she used her time to give herself and give service to their communities. Now, as she is seated as the Vice President, she established the program Angat Buhay. Angat Buhay aims to unify both public and private sectors to work together to meet the needs of families and communities in the remotest and poorest parts of the Philippines. The said program is still ongoing and the main platform of Robredo's presidential campaign. Sa gobyernong tapat, angat buhay lahat.
Now we have Senator Kiko Pangilinan. Senator Kiko Pangilinan graduated from the University of the Philippines, Diliman with a degree in Bachelor of Arts in English, major in Comparative Literature, and Bachelor of Laws. Francis Kiko Pangilinan has been serving the country for 34 years already as a lawyer, agriculturist, and a politician. His first exposure in politics started when he won as Quezon City's councilor. He started being a senator of the country when he won in the year 2001, to which he served the 3-year term for 6 consecutive years. During the administration of Noynoy Aquino in the year 2014 to 2015, Pangilinan was the Presidential Assistant for Food Security and Agricultural Modernization. Increasing the revenue of the farmers and support for the agricultural sector is one of the platforms Pangilinan wants to implement by chance if elected in the position of Vice Presidency. His known tagline, Hello Pagkain, Goodbye Gutom, is under his scope of platforms where it focuses on providing nutritious, affordable, and enough supply for every Filipino family. The reason why I vote for him, aside from platforms he offered during the electoral campaign, he was one of the co-authors of R8 10931, or known as the Universal Access to Quality Tertiary Education Act along Bam Aquino and Sony Angara. This indicates that the student from state universities and colleges are covered under free tuition and other fees that are stated in the Act. Senator Kiko has been tirelessly extending his help to the people, most especially to those marginalized sector, extending his help to have the privilege to study, to eat, and to live a better life in the country despite their situation. Now, we will be discussing why you should vote the 12 candidates we have chosen. Now we have Leila de Lima. Leila de Lima finished her tertiary education at De La Salle University in 1980 under the course of Bachelor of Arts in History and Political Science. 5 years later, she practiced and got her another degree in Bachelor of Law at San Beda College. She started as an attorney at the Office of Former Supreme Court Associate Justice Isagani Cruz in between the years of 1988 to 1989. Soon after, in 1993, she became the deputy clerk and deputy secretary of the House of the Representatives, which lasted until 1995. In 2008, she became the chairperson of the Commission on Human Rights, whereas after 2 years in the office, she was then appointed as the Secretary of the Department of Justice. De Lima was a senator from 2016 till the present, which is under Duterte administration. Senator Leila de Lima, one of the President Duterte's numerous opponents, was held at the National Police Headquarters. It has been 5 years since the senator was imprisoned for her inquiry into the administration cruel war on drugs program, during which she obtained evidence implicating Duterte's in the deaths and disappearance of thousands of people due to his involvement in Death Squad. As a result, the president placed De Lima into jail and charged her with completely corruption. However, however, that did not stop her from serving the people. Even inside the cell, De Lima was able to create 132 bills and 136 resolutions despite her situation where it focuses on human rights, poverty, corruption, and food security. De Lima was the principal of sponsor of Pantawid Pamilyang Pilipino program, or what we call 4Ps, which serve as an aid for the Filipino family who has a large number of members in their home. Their programs goes to lift people out of poverty by keeping children aged 0 to 18 healthy and in school, allowing them to have a brighter future. Now we have Raisa Hontiveros. Raisa Hontiveros is one of the most famous senators in the country because of the wit and dedication for serving the people she possesses. Raisa Hontiveros has been publicly serving since she finished her studies. She studied Bachelor of Arts in Social Science at Ateneo de Manila in 1987. After she graduated, she became community organizer of Foundation of Development Alternatives, which lasted for 2 years. Hontiveros was an active member of groups such as Akbayan, where she became representative in the Congress and served for 11 years, thus later on became the senator of the country, serving for 6 years. She is the primary supporter of the Sexual Orientation and Gender Identity Expression Equality Bill, which has been held in the Senate for years owing to conservative parliament members' resistance. With that, many admire Hontiveros because of her trait of being understanding and prioritizing the rights of the citizens. She was also the author of the Mental Health Act, Safe Spaces Act, and the 105-day expanded maternity leave law for mothers who are working while carrying their child in their womb. COVID-19 response is included in her platform, where Hontiveros urges the government to rethink about the militarized approach, and she also questions the mandatory use of face shields despite its inefficiency. Moreover, the highlight of her platform is the protection of Philippine sovereignty over the West Philippine Sea through diplomacy. Next, we have Chel Jokno. Chel Jokno is a lawyer, educator, writer, and an advocate of human rights and justice. Chel Jokno has been serving the Filipino nation since the late 1980s. He got a degree in Bachelor of Arts in Philosophy at the University of the Philippines, Diliman, in 1983. 3 years later, Jokno studied at the Northern Illinois University for his Juris Doctor for Laws degrees in 1986. Jokno has been leading the Free Legal Assistance Group, which was co-founded by his father, the late Senator Jose W. Jokno, during the period of martial law. He is the founding dean of the College of Law of De La Salle University and has been teaching law since the 1980s. Other than that, he also gives free legal advice, and seminars for training lawyers and the indigent communities. Chell is extremely knowledgeable on a wide range of legal matters. He is a scholar who has theoretical and experimentally assessed the Philippine legal and judicial systems. At the same time, he is a practicing lawyer defending people in legal matters, particularly the impoverished and oppressed. He frequently undertakes pro bono work. His platform on the 2022 election includes support for the ordinary workers and the micro, small, and medium enterprises MSMEs. So through the meanings of these business loans, ayuda, and unemployment assurance, Jokno also agrees on ENDO or END platform focuses of contractualization for workers who do not have permanent work. His platform focuses on Filipino justice with the tagline, Boses ng Katarungan, at Mangipin ang Batas, which came from the criticism of President Rodrigo Duterte about Jokno's physical attributes. As a solution for this pandemic, Jokno has also emphasizes the reformation of the healthcare system in his platform as it has been weak due to the surge of COVID-19 cases. Next, we have Teddy Bagilat. He is an advocate for Ifugao, the rights of indigenous people, human rights, and the environment. Bagilat studied at the University of the Philippines Diliman with the course of BA Mass Communication major in journalism. Although he is a first-timer in running for a national position, Bagilat had experiences in politics from 2010 until 2019. He governed as a municipal councilor and mayor of Kayangan, Ifugao, before becoming a two-term province governor and representative of Ifugao Lone District. Bagilat would have been the first indigenous people or the person on the Senate. As a district representative, he authorized, as a district representative, he authored laws including Sagip Saka Law and Free Internet Access in a Public Space Act. More on. Bagilat supports the legalization of divorce in country and approval of the Soji Bill. He opposes the reinforcement of death penalty in the country. He promises to serve IP rights and ancestral properties, which he says will be critical to national prosperity. Bagilat is also advocating for more ecological sustainability, community-based strategic planning and restoration, and the use of renewable energy resources. Okay, now we have Alex Lacson. Alex Lacson, aside from being a lawyer, he is also an author of the best-selling patriotic book entitled 12 Things Every Filipino Can Do to Help Our Country. He initially took the Kapatiran electoral vote for vice president in order to raise an alternative candidate against President Rodrigo Duterte's speculated case, but dropped his application to allow Senator Francis Pangilinan to run, stating his wish to consolidate the opposition vote. Lacson has a degree in Bachelor of Arts in Political Science, which he took at the University of the Philippines Diliman. At the same university, he took up Bachelor of Laws in 1996. 5 years after he graduated college, Lacson also attended the program of instructions of lawyers during the summer term in Harvard University in 2002. He is the co-founder of Malcolm Law Firm, which was established in 2001. Laxon's 2022 campaign is focused on dramatic changes that he sees as essential and required to re-engineer major pillars of civic spaces such as the political structure, the economy, the bureaucracy, and society as a whole. Laxon also prioritized agriculture, expanding job possibilities for everybody, and fostering young entrepreneurs. Laxon also contributes to the country's defense against the COVID-19 pandemic by reorganizing the COVID-19 interagency working group and ensuring effective administration of pandemic money. Now we have Antonio Trillanes, the fourth. Antonio Trillanes is a retired Philippine Navy Lieutenant. Antonio Trillanes the fourth is a Filipino politician who runs under the senatorial slate of Vice President Leni Robredo and Senator Kiko Pangilinan. He finished B.S. Naval Systems Engineering at the Philippines Military Academy in 1995 and had his master's in public administration, major in public policy and program management at the University of the Philippines, Diliman. Before he involved himself into politics, Trillanes served as lieutenant senior grade in Philippine Navy, which he used as a negotiator to China on the Panatag Shoal in 2012. Trillanes fought to enact at least 17 legislation between 2007 and 2019, including the Magna Carta for the Poor, the Archipelagic Basis Law of 2009, and the law demanding the release of departing government employees, retirement salary and benefits. He was also involved in other Senate investigations which resulted in clashes with various authorities and libel and incitement charges being launched against Trillanes for his statements against the subject of the Senate inquiries. He is pushing for better pandemic response, economic expansion, eradicating poverty, national intelligence changes, and a more constructive international relations approach.
Nery Colmenares is an undergraduate of Bachelor's of Arts in Economics in San Beda College and then earned his law degree in the University of the Philippines. Colmenares is a veteran human rights lawyer and an activist who was detained for 4 years when the Philippines was under martial law. He was previously served as a representative in Bayan Muna from the year 2007 to 2009. Since he is a Bayan Muna representative, he served the nation by helping senior citizens, creating an agrarian reform program for farmers, fought for laborers, and human rights protection. Not to mention, he also is involved in the impeachment cases against Presidents Benigno Aquino III, Gloria Macapagal Arroyo, former Chief Justice Renato Corona, and Ombudsman Merceditas Gutierrez. His platform still consists of his past actions, which are upholding justice, human rights and democratic institutions, holistic COVID-19 response, free public health care, improved quality of living, and senior citizens' welfare. Luke Espirito is a Bachelor of Arts in Communications graduate and a Juris Doctor in Ateneo de Manila University. Espirito is a lawyer and labor organizer who actively fights for human rights, climate justice, and gender equality. According to Vote Filipinas, he is the former national president, spokesperson, and current labor organizer of the Bukluran ng Manggagawang Pilipino, as well as the former national president of the Solidarity of Unions in the Philippines for Empowerment and Reforms Federation. Espirito is a lawyer who serves mostly for public cases, such as the involvement with the case against the former President Gloria Macapagal Arroyo. According to Vote Filipinas, Espirito is campaigning on establishing a national minimum wage of at least 750 pesos per day, the abolition of regional wage boards, using price control to curb rising prices, halting the collection of excise tax on fuel under the Tax Reform for Acceleration and Inclusion Law and value-added tax, and removal of the 12% value-added tax on fuel. He is also calling for the outright repeal of the train law, expanded VAT, and the oil deregulation law. Espirito supports prohibiting contractualization or ending the ENDA system, ensuring a living wage for all workers, decriminalizing abortion, passing the Soji Equality Bill, and a wealth tax, allowing same-sex marriage, and repealing the Anti-Terrorism Act of 2020. Sonny Matula is a lawyer, an educator, and a labor advocate. He is a graduate of Bachelor of Arts in Political Science degree in Mindanao State University and a graduate of Law in Manuel L. Quezon University. Matula continually and actively fights on behalf of laborers. In fact, he is the national president of the Federation of Free Workers and chairperson of the Nagkaisa Labor Coalition, the biggest and broadest labor coalition in the country. Matula's labor groups, the Federation of Free Workers and the Nagkaisa Labor Coalition, filed petition against the Anti-Terrorism Act of 2020. According to Vote Filipinas, Matula is campaigning on the promotion and defense of democratic, human, and trade union rights such as banning endo and contractualization schemes and imposing a national minimum wage. He pledges to pursue an ayudang sapat at trabahong ligtas policy that would strengthen the public health system and focus on speedy completion of the agrarian reform program and modernization of industries, including a sustainable agricultural sector. He supports the renewal of ABS-CBN's corporations, franchise, and shifting to a federal system of government but is wary of recent charter change proposals in the lower house. He opposes the death penalty, the legalization of divorce, and marriage equality but is open to same-sex civil unions. Carmen Zubiaga is a consultant and advocate for gender equality, disability, and social inclusion. She has a degree in mass communication and a master's degree in development management. Zubiaga strongly fights for the PWDs and gender equality. Thus, her platform highlights educating people regarding disabilities, increasing the accessibility of services and products, and creating a safe space for all to participate and enjoy. Elmer Labog is a veteran labor organizer and trade union activist. He began being an activist during martial law through joining different activist groups such as Samahang Demokratikong Kabataan, the Student Catholic Action, and later, Kilusang Mayo Uno. Labog is known to be the national chairperson of the Kilusang Mayo Uno, or KMU. KMU is said to be the largest trade union in the Philippines and a self-described independent labor center promoting genuine, militant, and patriotic trade unionism. According to Vote Filipinas, his platform aims to grant public access to public officials, wealth declarations, ban endo-contractualization, abolish the National Task Force to end local communist armed conflict, renew ABS-CBN's franchise, and the passage of the Anti-Balimbing Bill, which would penalize politicians who constantly speech parties. Ninita Padilla is an ophthalmologist, academician, author, and health advocate. She studied zoology in the University of the Philippines Diliman and studied medicine in UP Manila. She practiced ophthalmology for 35 years. As a health advocate, Padilla is the founder of the Eye Bank Foundation of the Philippines in October 1995 that has been part of several international eye bank associations. According to Vote Filipinas, she is the lead medical advisor for Project ARC. Project ARC is a private sector initiative under the Go Negosyo umbrella that aims to make COVID-19 testing in various forms accessible to all Filipinos and help small and medium-scale businesses affected by the pandemic. Her platforms are mainly towards the health sector of the country, focusing on priority areas including an improved pandemic response, enhanced health care systems, especially PhilHealth, curbing the corruption in government, and ensuring more support for health care workers. She touts her medical background as a good alternative to veteran politicians. So, this is the end of our detailed endorsement. We hope that you'll vote for the candidates that are willing to serve the Filipinos. Sa mulit-muli, maraming salamat sa pagtintig. At dahil mahilig tayo sa resibo, narito ang aming references na ginamit.